This is Wisconsin Badgers radio podcast. My name is John Trickeys. I'm here with Brady Baltus. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be talking to you today about sports, and even more specifically about football, even more specifically about Wisconsin Badger football. You ask anyone about the W on the side of the helmet, and they'll tell you about the tradition and the hard work that is symbolized by it. The university itself is a great school altogether. The school is one of the few today that still cares about the meaning of going to school and being an athlete, being a student athlete, being a student first. That is why it's very hard to get into the school, not even to mention making the football team. The commitment is a big one. You must be able to make sacrifices and have a great work ethic. This school and team has very high expectations for their students and their student athletes, which is a great thing for a university to have. Turning students into men and women in the process of getting a phenomenal education at the same time. The team also tries to recruit players straight from Wisconsin. Not a lot of schools do that as much as Wisconsin does. The team takes great pride in their backfield. That would explain why the team has so much success in the past and in the present day. Because most teams pass so much, it is different for a team to run the ball as much as they do. The Big Ten, which is the conference that the Badgers are in, they are known for their backs, which is even more of a competition to go against the other teams. And the backs still perform at a great level. The defenses they play against aren't always the greatest, but the Big Ten has some good defenses out there. Ultimately, the respect goes to the offensive line. As a running back, you are nothing without the big boys up front. So, Brady, what are your thoughts on the tradition of Wisconsin?
Oh, well, I think it's a huge thing when you have that guy to lead you. I mean, throughout the years, the running backs have really been able to follow the guy in front of them. I mean, you go from Monty Ball to James White to Melvin Gordon to now Corey Clement, and I think it's just really great for them to really see how the program works and have someone to look up to and follow. And I think if that continues, Wisconsin has a lot of good things to look forward to.
Thank you. Great comments. Now, let's get right into what this podcast is really about, the tradition of the backfield of Wisconsin Badgers. People today are just starting to notice the backs coming out of the school. The first Wisconsin running back I'd like to talk to you about today, in no particular order, is the great Ron Dayne. Dayne played for the Badgers from 1996 to 1999. At this time, he set the Division I rushing record for total yards in his career. He gained 1,863 yards as a freshman, 1,421 as a sophomore, 1,325 as a junior, and 1,834 as a senior. He finally broke the rushing record in the final game of the 1999 season against Iowa. Dayne ended his career with 6,397 rushing yards, which does not include the yardage from his 4 bowl games that he played in, breaking the record set in the previous year by Ricky Williams of Texas. Dayne excelled in 3 of his bowl games for Wisconsin. He rushed for 246 to lead the Badgers to a 38-10 victory in the 1996 Copper Bowl against Utah, gathering MVP honors. Dayne only gained 36 yards in 98 Outback Bowl against Georgia the next season, but he bounced back the next 2 seasons with 246 yards and 200 yards, respectively, in the Badgers' 1999 and 2000 Rose Bowl wins. Dayne won MVP honors in both games, becoming only the 3rd player in history of the Rose Bowl to repeat as MVP, and the first and still the only Big Ten player to do so. Dayne won the Heisman in 1999, as well as other awards throughout college, including Big Ten Player of the Year in 1999 and All-American placement in 1996, 1998, and 1999. His name and number is one of the 6 displayed in Camp Randall Stadium. Dayne's number 33 was officially retired during the November 10th, 2007 game against Michigan. As of 2014, Dayne's 6,397 career rushing yards still stands as a Division I, now FBS, career rushing record. Ron Dayne is known as one of the best running backs, if not the best, in Wisconsin history, which is why I started with him. Dayne was selected 11th pick overall in 2000 NFL draft by the New York Giants. Well, Brady, what do you think about the great running backs coming out of Wisconsin after Ron Dane?
Well, I think Ron Dane is really just a catalyst for bringing in great running backs at Wisconsin. You look at what the great things that he was able to do, and I think these young guys saw what he was able to do, and they just wanted to follow in his footsteps. And I don't think it's any coincidence that you look at Ron Dane, and he's holding the FBS single-season rushing yards record, and you look at Monty Ball, and he holds the touchdown record, and then you look at Melvin Gordon, who, even if it was for just 1 week, held the record for most yards in one game, and I just think it's really something special that Wisconsin has going for them right now.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for joining me today, Brady.
Thanks for having me.
The next running back I'm going to get into now, along with all the semi-recent, powerful, but still pretty light on their feet kind of backs out of Wisconsin, will be John Clay. As a redshirt freshman in 2008, Clay saw his first action on the field against the University of Akron, where he posted 71 yards in his first collegiate touchdown on just 12 carries. He finished the season second on the team and seventh in the Big Ten Conference in rushing with 884 yards on 155 carries and 9 touchdowns. Clay led the Big Ten and ranked 8th in the country with 1,517 rushing yards. His 18 rushing touchdowns also led the Big Ten and tied for 7th in the nation. On November 23rd, 2008, Clay was named Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, the third Badger to be named the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. He joined fellow running backs Ron Dane in 1999 and Brent Moss in 1993. Clay entered 2010 football season on the preseason watch list for the Doc Walters Award, the Walter Camp Award, and the Maxwell Award. He was also selected as an All-American. An MCL injury unfortunately sidelined Clay for the last 3 2010 regular season games, damaging his chances at the Heisman. Clay was named one of the finalists for the 2010 Doc Walter Award, which is given annually to the nation's top running back. Other 2 finalists were Kendall Hunter of Oklahoma State and the winner of the award, LaMichael James of Oregon. For the 2010 season, Clay was finished with 1,012 rushing yards and 14 rushing touchdowns. Clay was signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers as undrafted free agent on July 26, 2011. He was waived for the final cuts on September 2nd, 2011, but was re-signed 2 days later for the practice squad.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie? Hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on. I know you can hear me. Hey, Mike. What day is it, Mike? Ha ha ha. Lisa, guess what day it is? Woo woo.
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds switching to Geico?
I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday. Hump day, yeah! Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Now, these next 4 running backs that I'm about to get into, they get me really excited. They play with such swagger and poise. It's crazy to have this many amazing running backs in such a few years. As a supporter of the Badgers and in running back on my own high school football team myself, I enjoy watching these guys perform. I still watch their film and study each of them to try to improve my game. These men weren't only great players, they were great role models. They have great character. That's why people like them so much. They are amazing examples of what athletes should be on and off the field. I'm going to go in order from older to younger. So the first player I'm going to start with is Monty Ball. As a freshman, Ball played in 9 of 13 games and finished second on the team in rushing yards with 391 and 4 rushing touchdowns on 98 attempts. He played in mostly short yardage situations. In 2011, Ball played and started in all 14 games. On November 12, 2011, Ball broke the single-season Big Ten Conference record for rushing touchdowns. Ball rushed for 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown against Minnesota. Ball had 27 rushing touchdowns, 23 rushing, and 4 receiving at the end of that game. The previous record of 26 was held by Ohio State's Pent Johnson in 1975, Indiana's Anthony Thomas in 1988, and Penn State's Key Johanna Carter in 1994. On November 19, 2011, against Illinois, Ball ran for a career high of 224 yards and 2 touchdowns on a career high 38 carries. He also added a receiving touchdown and became the 5th player in NCAA Division I FBS history to score 30 touchdowns in a single season. Ball was named first team All Big Ten. He was also a winner of 2 of the Big Ten awards, the Graham George Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year award and the Amechi Dane Big Ten Running Back of the Year award, which was also renamed in 2011 after Wisconsin's Allen Amechi and Ron Dane. On December 10, 2011, Ball was one of the 5 candidates for the Heisman Trophy Award. He finished 4th in the voting with 348 points. Ball's 4th place finish was the highest in Wisconsin history for a non-winner. He was joined by teammate Russell Wilson, who has also received votes. Wilson finished 9th with 52 points. On January 5, 2012, Ball announced he would return for his senior season with the UW-Madison Badgers, rather than enter the draft in 2012. On October 13, 2012, Ball scored 3 rushing touchdowns against Purdue, giving a career-high total of 72 touchdowns. This broke the Big Ten record and a Wisconsin record of 71, held by former Badger running back Ron Dane. He also ran for a career-high of 247 yards against the Boilermakers. On November 24, 2012, Ball became the FBS career record holder for total touchdowns when he scored his 79th touchdown on December 6, 2012. Ball won the Doc Walter Award, given to nation's top running back. He finished ahead of finalists Kenjon Barner of Oregon and Jonathan Franklin of UCLA. Ball was the 2nd Badger to win the award since Ron Dane. Ron Dane won it in 1999. On January 1st, 2013, Ball became the first player in Rose Bowl game history to score a touchdown in 3 straight years. Ball was drafted in the 2nd round and the 48th pick overall by the Denver Broncos in the 2013 NFL Draft. The next running back from Wisconsin on the list is Melvin Gordon III. He's the most recent running back from Wisconsin Badgers and just recently decided to leave college and enter the 2015 NFL Draft. Some of his achievements are he leads all active players with 4,664 rushing yards and averages 7.8 yards a carry, and broke the FBS career rushing average, which was set by Reggie Bush, which was 4.3 yards per carry. With a total of 4,664 rushing yards, he ranks number 4 of all-time Wisconsin and number 4 on Big Ten career list. He's ranked tied for 4th at Wisconsin and 10th in all-time in Big Ten history with 46 touchdowns. He was the fastest player in Wisconsin history to reach 1,000 career rushing yards in only 104 attempts. On December 8th, 2014, it was announced that Gordon was one of the 3 Heisman Trophy finalists, joining Oregon's quarterback Marcus Mariota and Alabama wide receiver Mari Cooper. Gordon became Wisconsin's 4th finalist for the Heisman Trophy, all of whom played running back for the Wisconsin Badgers. Allen Amechi of 1958 team and Ron Dane of 1999 team won the award. while Monty Ball of the 2011 team finished fourth in the final ballots. Gordon finished second in the Heisman Trophy voting behind Marcus Mariota. On December 10th, 2014, Gordon announced his intentions to forego his final year of college eligibility and enter the 2015 NFL Draft. In Gordon's final college game, the 2015 Outback Bowl, he rushed for 251 yards against the number 19 Auburn Tigers. In an overtime victory, he set the Outback Bowl rushing record with his performance and was named the game MVP. For the season, he gained 2,587 yards, second only in FBS history to do the 2,628-yard record held by Barry Sanders since. Now, I'm on to introduce the new starting running back for your Wisconsin Badgers, Corey Clement. Clement has had some great backs to learn from. He's the new face of the Badgers backfield. I see great things coming his way. This kid works hard and takes pride in what he does. Clement played in 12 games as a freshman and was a backup to James White and Melvin Gordon. He rushed for 547 yards on 67 carries with 7 touchdowns. As a sophomore, he again was a backup to Melvin Gordon. He gained the honors so far in his career of Big Ten Freshman of the Week on September 9th and November 18th, and an honorable mention All-Freshman. All these backs have the same goal, that's to lead their team and to do so as a great teammate, and they seem to do it very well. This trend of running backs is coming out of Wisconsin is some work of great beauty. The transformation from these guys coming into the school and when they exit is crazy and seems almost impossible, but these coaches find a way to do. Well, Wisconsin Badgers fans, that's all for this week on Wisconsin Badgers Podcast. We'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in, and on Wisconsin.